What is sponge cake? Sponge cake is one of the oldest known sweet goods. Along with angel food cake, it belongs to the category of foam cakes. It's very popular around the world, probably because of its short list of ingredients. This type of cake is often used as the base of other desserts such as snack cakes, jelly rolls, Swiss rolls and Tres Leches. A basic sponge cake is composed of only 4 essential ingredients: cake flour, eggs, whole or yolks, granulated sugar, and salt. Where did it come from? The earliest recorded mention of sponge cakes was from a Renaissance-age Italian baked product. Italian cooks baked biscuits, which spread through Italy, England, and France. However, it was not until 1615 when the first sponge cake recipe was recorded by the English poet and author Gervase Markham. Still, the cake was much more like a cookie, thin and crispy. Sponge cakes became well recognized when bakers started using beaten eggs as a leavening agent in the mid-18th century. Often the batter was poured into elaborate molds, but also into 2 tin hoops, the precursor to modern cake pans. How is it made? To achieve its characteristic light texture, sponge cake uses whipped eggs. Similar to angel food cake, it relies on the leavening action of air whipped into and trapped by egg protein. The increase in volume is achieved by trapped air and water vapor that expand during baking. Baking powder and/or baking soda are sometimes added to sponge cake formulations to provide additional rise through the production of carbon dioxide. Such cakes typically have a high volume and feature a light, fluffy texture. Here is a base formulation for sponge cake. Cake flour 100%. Granulated sugar 80 to 175%. Whole eggs and egg yolks 50 to 175%. Salt 2 to 3%. Water or liquid milk, optional, this varies depending on target-specific gravity. Milk solids, optional, 0 to 6%. Baking powder, optional, 0 to 6%. Melted butter or shortening 0 to 10%. Corn syrup 0 to 20%. Emulsifier varies. Adjustments to the base formulation should be made for various product specifications and target markets. Sugar, water, milk solids, baking powder, and other minor ingredients can be added only if proper formula balancing is exercised. In sponge cakes, eggs are structure builders that must be balanced against sugar, which functions as a tenderizer and tends to weaken the crumb structure. Here are some additional guidelines for balancing sponge cake formulas. The weight of sugar should equal or exceed that of eggs. The total weight of liquids, including eggs, should be greater than the weight of sugar. The weight of flour should be less than that of the sugar or the eggs. The total weight of the eggs and the flour should exceed the total weight of the sugar and liquids. Sponge cake processing. The following steps are used to produce this baked good. 1. Ingredients scaling. 2. Mixing, hot and/or cold process. 3. Depositing. 4. Baking. Bake at 360 to 425 degrees Fahrenheit, or 182 to 218 degrees Celsius, to an internal temperature of 204 degrees Fahrenheit or 95 degrees Celsius. Hot processed batter should have a shorter baking time. Cold processed batter should be baked longer. 5. Depanning. Depan from oven onto dusted paper pan liners while the cakes are still warm. 6. Cooling. Cool product to loaf internal temperature of 95 to 105 degrees Fahrenheit, or 35 to 40 degrees Celsius. 7. Slicing. 8. Finally, comes packaging or serving. Want to learn more about sponge cake, plus find tips and delicious formulations for it? Visit BAKERpedia. Learn more about all things baking by signing up for our newsletter. Until next time, bakers. At BAKERpedia, we're here on a need-to-know basis.